What is up, Team Happy and Fit? It's so good to see your faces. I can actually see every single face on the screen I'm on, and it just makes my heart happy. I love seeing inside your house. Did you know, shelter in place, there are bosses and CEOs that are getting angry at workers because they have kids all in their video and stuff like that. I'm like, what do you expect? People are working from home. They can't separate that. Don't you love that we don't have to? That our dogs can be crawling all over us, that our kids can be all over us. We can be at a desk, we can be places, we can be doing the things. It's always been that way. It hasn't been so separated. This work is meaningful, and hopefully you bring it into your family. I hope that you don't disconnect them, but that you bring them together, because I honestly think it makes families better, healthier, and all the things. We have not met. My name is Julianne. I'm the founder of Team Happy and Fit, but honestly, what makes it awesome is you. And so I love that we can partner together and live life together and live fit together. So if this is your first call, can you go to the comments? We want to say hi. I think that the people who get the best results and have the most commitment are the ones that are connected to the team. The people who don't get where they want to go, I just don't think they see the value in this community, and this community is amazing. It's game changing. Okay, a few things before Anya goes. We are 37 coaches away from becoming a superstar team. I just need to put this in perspective for you for a second. When we hit 10 star out of Team Rockstar Fit, maybe out of 20 something thousand people, we're the third team to do that. So in 440,000, I don't know, but in Superstar, it is very minimal. It's not a lot, and we are 37 people away. So if you are my PS, and you are with my PS, then you're a PS. You being active and helping your coach get to diamond would help with this goal. Listen, people are afraid to put out goals. Why? Because they're afraid they're going to fail at them. Well, guess what? The only way to fail is to not show up. The only way to fail is to quit. That's it. That is when you completely decide that. And so I'm willing to put out this huge goal, and I'm not worried about the obstacles that are going to come our way. They will, for sure. I at least am brave enough to put it out there. I really do think that our team will do it. And so I'm going to just keep mapping it out, and it's going to make people feel uncomfortable, and not everybody will want to be on the road of this. And that's okay. You don't have to be. No one's forcing you to be that way. However, this goal is going to stretch me, and I want to be stretched. I'm ready to go. And I would love for you to go with me, is what I'm saying, because we're going to do it. We're going to go. And it would just be way more fun to celebrate with you. If it's not your thing, all good. But I just wanted to let you know that is what's going on. It is crazy. Last thing I want to say is I love this team so much. I love this journey so much. I love the products. I love that we were talking in Lake Tahoe, that Shakeology. If you think about it, food, you have new cells growing in your body every day. And Shakeology helps your body restore itself. It is just amazing when you start to really think about the benefits of good nutrition, and that we have such an emotional tie to, I feel like I keep cutting in and out, but I'm just going to keep going. All right. We're going to work with this cutting out stuff, because I don't do technology, is that there's a lot of emotional tie to food tasting delicious. And I read in my book, Miracle Morning, that he said we need to tie it to something different, that food is energy, food is fuel, food keeps us alive longer, food fights disease. If you start to think of food in that way, and not just if it tastes good or not, you're just going to treat it a whole lot different. And so when I think of Shakeology, my first few were not good. I'm just going to throw that out there. But I knew the nutrition benefits of it. And now, believe me when I say you shouldn't have a bad shake, you're just making it wrong. I'm just going to throw that out there. Or you're so used to eating poorly that artificial sugar tastes better than natural food. And that has been for me. How many of you were addicted to Starbucks? Then you started drinking Shakeology, and now you can have a Starbucks time to time, but you can seriously pick out the artificial flavors a lot faster. That's what happened to me. My taste buds changed. They just changed. Listen, my daughter loves Shakeology. She's 15 months old. She loves it. She doesn't know anything different. She also loves eating celery plain. I cannot get on her level. Like, she is her father's daughter. Like, that is just what's going on in the house. And I'm not concerned. She's going to be healthy. It's going to be great. I just don't know how she does it, to be honest. She loves it. But she doesn't know any different. Anyway, it's easy to look at this as a drag when you're pushing yourself hard. When you're disciplining yourself, it's a lot easier to quit. And it's also a lot easier to blame how this won't work for you. I think people need to take more ownership on that they didn't work for them. But it's a lot easier to turn around and say, well, this, and this, it's too expensive, or everyone is saying no, or this and that, instead of taking actual responsibility. And so the way I want to lead this team is taking responsibility, having fun, and living your most fit life in every area of your life. I want you to feel healthier, happier. I want you to navigate the hard seasons with more resiliency in the sense of, this is hard, and I'm still going to invest in self-care. Life is hard right now, but I know I'll get through it. I have a community I'm surrounding myself with that's showing me it's possible. And so we're here for you. I love you all. I'm going to give this to Anya because that's why we're all here. So Anya, girl.
Hi, guys.
Hear you.
Hello. So my name is Anya, for those of you who don't know me, and I am going to, do I have to switch to the host again in order to share my screen? Or am I all good to go? I'm good to go. Okay, cool. So let me just get this pulled up here quick. Okay. Can you guys see everything okay? Good to go? Okay, cool. So I am going to share with you guys tonight my 5 tips to creating momentum within your team and kind of just within your own journey. So a little bit about me. So I am a wife to Jesse. We just celebrated 2 years in August. I am a boy mama to Hudson, and he's going to be a year next month already, which is just so insane to me. Time goes by so stinking fast. I'm a fur mama too. I like to just call it the coolest zoo, the coolest crazy, because we have dog, cats, chickens, ducks, fish. Like, I'm sure we'll have a lot of other crazy creatures in the future, but right now I'm good with that. I went from working full-time, not feeling fulfilled, wanting to fit into my wedding dress. I actually ordered it too small because I figured that would be the motivation to want to work out and to want to lose the weight to fit into my dress, to becoming a stay-at-home mom, running my own business, and finding joy in what I do. I'll never forget when I was about to switch jobs because I was actually going to pursue nursing. And my whole thing was, I was like, you know what? I really just want to feel fulfilled in what I'm doing. I want to serve people. I want to help people. I want to do all the things. And my job in customer service just wasn't doing that for me. I loved what I did, but it wasn't filling my heart. And so this has just been such a happy medium for me, and I've been able to find so much joy in helping people. So to move on to my first tip is to just share your story, guys. I know it sounds so simple, but share your story. Share where you started, share where you're going, and share your vision. So what I mean by that is share where you started is kind of exactly what I just did. I wasn't fulfilled in my day-to-day job. I needed something more, and that's kind of where I started at. It originally started as me wanting to fit into my wedding dress, but here I am, a stay-at-home mom, and I'm running my business. I am also sharing where I'm going and my vision. I am always telling my team, you know what, like, we're going to have a team retreat. We're going to do this together. We're going to do all the things. And I'm painting that picture for them and painting that picture for myself. Like one of the things that I want to do for Jesse and Hudson and our future kids is to be able just to literally pick up and be like, hey, you know what? Do we want to go to a zoo in California? Okay, let's go. I want to be able to do that without even questioning it. And I share that because the more you share it, the more you're going to start thinking about it and believing that it's going to happen. And before you know it, the things that you focus on and manifest are going to start to happen. And one of the turning points in my business recently has been sharing vulnerable topics. So for those of you who haven't followed my journey, I struggled and am struggling with postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety. It was so hard for me to share, and honestly, I put it away for a very long time. And my really good friend, Danielle Wood, she literally probably poked me for over a month and a half, like, are you okay? What's going on? And I kept giving her bullcrap answers, like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just in a funk. I'm good. But she knows me better. And she's like, no, girl, like, what's going on? And it took literally driving to meet Jesse for lunch one day and start crying on the drive there to be like, okay, this is more than just being in a funk. This is more than just having a little bit of baby blues or something little. I was like, this is something way bigger and I need to find help. I need to get help. And I shared that not only publicly, but when Julianne had messaged me, she's like, hey girl, where you at? What's going on? And I was open with her and I'm like, you know what, girl, like I'm going through some stuff. And she's like, why don't you share it? And I remember I told Jesse, I said, Jesse, I don't know if I'm ready to share this yet. And literally, I think it was 24 hours later, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to share it. And I have never, felt more supported in my life. So many people messaged me. So many people said that they had gone through similar things. So many people had just reached out to me. And I'll never forget, there was one girl that said, you know what? I struggled with this too, but I never told anyone. And I'm getting goosebumps just like thinking about it, because I'm like, that one person made it worth it because now they know that they're not alone. So with that being said, as hard as it is, as scary as it can be, sometimes sharing those vulnerable topics, one, helps you through your shit. Let's just be honest. Two, it helps others realize that they're not alone. And I think that that's one of my favorite parts about being a coach is the community aspect of it, because I am such a firm believer that no one should ever have to walk through a hard season by themselves. An example of that is, here's just my post about postpartum depression, and it was just laying it out there. And it was one of those posts where it was like, you know what, I'm going to post it, I'm going to walk away, I'm going to do something else, because of course it's always scary to share stuff like this. But you come back to it and it's like, okay, it's not so bad. And I promise, guys, the more that you do it, the easier that it gets. It's not always easy in that moment because it might be a fresh topic, it might be new, it might be something that you're still working through, whatever that might look like. And of course, you have to share it when you're ready and when it's on your heart. But at the end of the day, sharing the hard stuff is going to make you relatable, and it's going to make people know that you're real. My second tip is to find someone to run with. So that might look like a success partner, your mentor, an accountability buddy. You can have all three. It doesn't matter. The more the merrier, right? The more that you lean into this team, the more that you are connected to everyone, makes it that much more fun. So a success partner, for those of you who aren't sure what a success partner is, it's someone that's going to push you and help you level up. And so I have a success partner, and we shoot ideas off of each other all of the time. And we're always toying with different stuff. If she needs extra support from me, I'm there for her. If I need extra support from her, she's there for me. And at the bottom here, I wrote, find people who will have meaningful conversation with you, spark an idea, and cheer you on when you chase it. Because the conversations that you're having with other people in this business should be filling your cup and firing you up. And every single time that I talk to a lot of the coaches on this team, I am filled up in some sort of way. There is something that you can take from every single coach on this team, because all of us are individual people on our own individual journeys. And everyone's story is different. We all come from different walks of life, different backgrounds. We're all in different seasons of life, and we all have something to contribute. And leaning into that is so, so powerful. Something to remember too is that people are going to come with you, but if they don't, you can't stop. You have to keep going. You have to show up. You have to show them what's possible. And no matter what, you just have to keep going. The people that you start with also may not be the people that get you to 1-star, 2-star, 5-star, whatever that might look like. And that's okay. One of my favorite quotes is, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I truly believe that, because every single person that comes into your life has a special place, a special story. And as much as it sucks sometimes, as hard as it is sometimes when people do leave your life, or you have to set up boundaries or whatever that might be, everyone that comes into your life has a reason. They're there for a season, or they're there for a lifetime. And you just have to cherish that in those moments and in those seasons. Tip 3 is get excited. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you guys have to find something that really excites you. And I'm not joking you. Celebrate it like it's the next best thing compared to sliced bread. For real. So, for example, and talk about it everywhere in your team pages. If you don't have a team page, in your stories, in your post, to everyone that you're talking to, like, you should be so pumped up about whatever your next challenge might be, or whatever your next group might be, or whatever you're going to be involved in next. You should be so excited about it that they should be able to tell that you're smiling and talking with exclamation points without putting them in your messages, because people are going to feed off of your energy. So why not make it positive? And so I want to show you guys an example here. So bear with me, because I'm going to change my screens here, but I want to show you my example of my fall challenge group that I was so pumped about, that literally it was just so much fun. It was super easy. It was literally a competition within my team. And I found that a lot of my ladies just strive off of competition. We all are friendly competitors, because I think a lot of us were athletes in our previous lives. And so it was really fun for us to compete against one another, and for us to get behind that was just so much fun. So this is what it kind of looked like. It was 14 days. It was called Falling into Focus. We posted a sweaty selfie, our shakes, recipes, and then different things throughout the weeks. You earned points for it. And then you also got points or bonus points for like hopping on a call, or commenting on someone's post, or just creating that community as well. But I was so excited about this that it was just so easy to invite to. So find something that you can 1000% get behind. And even if it's something, even if you're doing a challenge group, like within a different team page or whatever it might look like, find the joy in whatever aspect that might be. Maybe you're really good at gratitude. Maybe you're really good at nutrition. Maybe you're really good at workouts. Whatever that is, find joy in it and celebrate the crap out of it, because people are going to feed off of your energy. Let me get back to Canva here. Sorry, guys. I think. So, okay, so then my next tip here is going to be kind of feeding off of the last one, is find what motivates you and your people. So like I just said, competition is a huge motivator for me. Giveaways and prizes are a huge thing that my ladies love. Verbal recognition is something that my ladies love. And then ultimately just the community. So like I said, a lot of my girls were previous athletes, so we just love competition. And none of us want to lose, so we all show up super hard, which is just so fun to see the energy and the momentum all throughout the team page. Giveaways, who doesn't love a good giveaway? Let's just be honest here. And I think that was just super fun. And something too, when you're doing these things, post about it consistently. When I was doing giveaways within my team page and then also on my social media in general, I talked about it in my stories every single day. I talked about it in my posts every single day. I would reshare the same post like, oh, 2 more days. Or I would take people saying, this person, this person, and this person are already committed. Who's going to join us? That way too, people want to get involved. They see that other people are joining you. They see that other people are getting excited about this. It's just creating that momentum and that energy, and people don't want to miss out on something that looks super fun and that is super fun. So keep that going and use that to help motivate yourself and help motivate the people that are joining you as well. Verbal recognition. Guys, this one is so simple, but it is so huge. Make a cute little graphic that says, oh my gosh, this person completed 25 workouts or something like that, or even just sending a voice message to someone or a text or whatever that might look like. People love that. And I shouldn't say everyone loves that. Most people like that. I actually recently did a poll in my team page to see what everyone's love language is and how they like to be recognized. If they're a gift giver, if they like being or like verbal stuff. Obviously you can't really do touch. They're the other two as well. But I do a lot of polls within my team page to find out what my ladies want and what they need and what they're looking for, because ultimately we're here to help them and we're here to serve them. And so another recent poll that I had did was, what is going well? If they're saying that nutrition and fitness is going well, okay, so let's focus in on the self-care, and vice versa. What's in that something that you're struggling with? They say self-care. Okay, let's focus on that next month, and really just cater that to your people, because that's going to help motivate them, because they're going to hear and see that you're listening to them and you're helping them find focus in this to help motivate them. Something too on this side here, it was so cool because growing my team page has definitely been a work in progress in trying to get people engaged and stuff like that. But this post over here, it was just so asking, okay, so what do you think went well? And they got bonus points for it for this particular challenge. There was over 30 comments, guys. Like, how fun is that? And being able to celebrate everyone else's wins. And a lot of the comments in here too were people celebrating other people or people celebrating their teams. So that was just so much fun to see. Here is an example of the big giveaway that I had done. And so this one was a bigger giveaway. So don't be scared to also add requirements for it. Like, hey, you have to follow my Instagram. They had to share this post and they had to commit to their health and wellness journey, and they had to sign up as a team member. And as you can see right here, I kept taking the people that were committed and I just kept adding it to it and sharing the post over and over and over again. And I had made it a requirement that 6 individuals had to commit because it was a bigger giveaway. And we definitely hit it. And it was so much fun to be able to give away this to a winner because they were just so pumped up about it. And it was exciting. It was fun to put together. It was another fun thing to be able to get behind, and I was excited about it. So it was easy to share and easy to talk about. So make sure that you find those things that you can really just get so stoked about that people are going to think, oh my gosh, why is she so excited about this? Like, I need to see what this is all about. Tip number 5 is show up how you want your team to show up. Drink your shake, do your workouts, focus on personal development. That is our job, guys. Like, it's not hard. You have to show up how you want your team and your challengers to show up, because if you're not doing the things, why would they? If they don't see you doing the things, why would they? So you have to make sure that you are showing up in the way that you want your team and your community to show up. they feed off of your vibe. They feed off your energy. Like Julianne always says, show up with energy and gratitude always, no matter what. That doesn't mean that there's not hard going on. That doesn't mean that there's other stuff that's happening behind the scenes, but your team better see you with energy and gratitude always, because they are going to feed off of that. Another quote that I had heard that has always really stuck with me is, it takes a spark to start a match and a match to start a fire. Be the freaking spark, my friends, because you are going to end up trickling your energy into other people, and they're going to start trickling their energy into other people. And that little spark, and I shouldn't say little because your spark is so big, your fire is so big, it is going to catch flame, and it is just going to just keep going, and the momentum is just going to keep going. And I'm not saying that there's not going to be times that you're going to feel stuck. You're going to feel stuck. There's going to be times when your team page or your challengers or whatever it might be might seem quiet. It's going to happen. It's all the seasons. It's the ebbs and flow of this. But at the end of the day, if you keep your spark and you keep your fire and you are as consistent as you can be, and you are consistently consistent, your spark will start the match that will start the fire, and it will just keep freaking going.
Yay!
I'm sorry, I talked really fast.
No, my gosh, don't be sorry. It's so good. I was just thinking about that. Lacey just said, I needed this reminder. It's so hard coming back from time off. Absolutely. There are some of you on here that maybe it's been a minute. This is going to be my advice. Own it. The more that we're like, this is weird, the more weird it becomes. But it's like, just like when I messaged Anya, I think that's one of my number one things I say is go share it. And the reason is because you're not sharing for approval. You're not sharing for validation. You're not sharing to impress. You're literally sharing because you're brave. You're sharing because you're free. You're sharing because you're beating anyone else to it. You are sharing because it's your own life. And so if you have gotten off track, if a season has changed, and you don't have to go into super amount of detail with it, but just acknowledging it of, like, this is what happens sometimes, and at least I'm owning it, and I am moving on, and I'm moving forward, and I'm excited about that. I think that's really huge. There's been times in this journey that I haven't hit certain goals. I always said my ego can take the hit. I'm willing to put it out there. I'm willing to do the dang thing. Anya, who wouldn't want to join you? Your energy is so lively and so fun, and I think that is key. That is everything on how you're showing up. So number one, for all of you on here, how can you show up with more energy tomorrow? How can you show up with more energy somewhere? And this is where I wanted to break this down for a second. We all start as a coach. Anya has a team page. She's just like, I'm going, like, this is where she's going, right? But we all start somewhere. So my recommendation for that is, where is that place for you tomorrow, and can you show up there? If it is Happy and Fit, how could you show up there with a poll tomorrow? How could you show up there with your story tomorrow? How can you show up there with your energy tomorrow? We're going to be doing Level Up November in Happy and Fit. Could you be the number one person who takes that challenge in November and is like, I'm here, I'm all in, I'm leveling up, and I'm doing the dang thing? Because I always thought, wow, if I start bringing people on this journey and I'm nowhere to be seen, and I'm only going to show up when people can see me showing up, it just doesn't seem as authentic. But I was like, dang, I'm going to learn to show up relentlessly before anyone else does, with a lot of energy. And then it'll just be, that is just what it is. That reminds me of Lauren Lundberg. I was a brand new Emerald coach, and I don't think she had any idea. I don't think she had any clue, because I was just like, I am just showing up and I have all the energy and all the things. What questions do we have for Anya? I think with her energy, that is what I want to take away from this for me. It's just like, oh my gosh, like, I just want to show up for my people and feel good about that. But what questions do you have? Anya did the polls and things like that. I'll do that in different places. I just went to the Coach Collab and I shared engagement posts. You could do that on your Instagram. So an engagement post could be, what are your top 5 emojis that you use? And you can use Instagram and you can do the question thing and people can fill out the question there. You could go to Facebook. What are the top 5 emojis that you use? So you can start engaging with people anywhere. That's just what you have to do. Okay, let's see here. What PD has stuck out to the most for you lately? Oh, this is really great. So Holly asked this question and Danny asked this question. What I love about this are these are 2 leaders on our team asking questions. Really powerful. So Anya, could you answer that? But could you also share with us what is personal development? Why is that important? And why is this maybe one of the most important things you do in your daily life?
Yeah, so personal development has definitely changed with seasons. So my first personal development book, and personal development can look like so many different things, guys. It can be a book, it can be a podcast, it can be an audio book, it can be so many different things. It can be someone that just has inspiring quotes that you follow on Instagram, a blogger, whatever that might look like for you. For me, I personally like books and podcasts. My first book was You Are a Badass, and that book was so powerful for me in the beginning. I honestly want to read it again because I read it 2.5 years ago, that I'm curious to see what speaks to me now. Kind of like when you rewatch a movie, you pick up on all the stuff that you didn't realize you had missed the first time. So when I first started personal development, it was all about how I talk to myself and really working on my mindset, because I was definitely someone who was very insecure. I was very jealous. I had just gotten out of a relationship that literally I thought I was going to marry, and we were together 8 years, high school sweethearts, the whole shebang. Like, it ended up being a super toxic relationship. I found out that he had cheated on me. Like, guys, when I say I was broken, like, I was legitimately like shattered to pieces. And when I met Jesse, bless his heart, he picked up the pieces at first, but then I realized, you know what? One, that's not his job. That is not his job at all. 2, I have to not fix myself, but I have to put myself back together and love myself in order to be able to love him the way that he deserves. And so a lot of the books that I read at first were really about how I talk to myself and just working through those kinds of things. Now it's just pushing past limiting beliefs. So a book that I recently read was Failing Forward. So good. So many takeaways, like a game changer for sure. But the one that I'm reading right now is about the Enneagram. We had talked about the road back to you. We had talked about it in Tahoe, and I'm not joking, guys. Like, I am so obsessed with the Enneagram now. Like, I can't even say the word, but you know what? I'm obsessed with it, and the idea of it, it is so freaking good. So that's my recommendation for PD right now.
Okay, I laughed so hard because I've been obsessed with the Enneagram. And then, Lauren, you'll love this. Some people got to Tahoe and they're like, this reminds me of when Lauren had to go to Vegas and learn about canned responses because you keep talking about the freaking Enneagram. And here we are in Tahoe. Now I'm obsessed with it because I'd just be like, interesting, fascinating. And then I just respond with Enneagram-ish talk.
Oh, good.
Love it, Anya. Thanks for the tips and the tools. I think, like, my question for all of you is, how many of you are open to more income in your life? Could you just go in the comments? I just, like, if you say no, like, I just don't, like, I'm open to it. I am. I don't even think it matters how much money I would ever have. Like, yeah, I'm sure I'm open to it if it's with integrity and it's, not illegally and things like that. But like, I'm open to impactful, meaningful income. Yes, please. Like, absolutely. Right. How many of you are open to completely transforming your mind How many of you are open to more confidence, open to more self-love, open to more dreams? You're open to more resilience. You're open to more gentleness. You're open to more awareness. Like, if you really start to ask yourself those questions, that is personal development. I think personal development is an avenue to more income. Why? I don't know what it is about women, but we shrink ourselves and we're just like, we need to help everybody. Doesn't matter if we get paid, it's all good. Like, we are martyrs. Personal development has opened up my brain to that of, wow, I was hustling and working so hard to a capped income that didn't provide a future, but I was working more hours and all the things, right? And that's fine. But I envisioned something bigger, and that wasn't the avenue to that. But the cool part is the avenue to that was it grew my gentleness, my self-love, my peace, like all these certain things for myself, right? Because I was open to it. That really honestly is personal development. And then how many of you are open to documenting your story on social media in order to help other people and earn more income? How many of you are open to sharing your story? So for example, oh, I can never share my story of that like Anya did, but how open are you then to more income? The cool part about this journey is that we get to own our own story. We get to own our own story. And the thing is we put these things on us of, oh, we have to be quieter, smaller, kinder. We need to serve everybody else first. I don't want to be too much for people. I don't want to be annoying. Like, I just swear women are just like going around in a sea of guilt and shame and like smallness. But if you're open to more income, more open to more growth, open to more, so like sharing your freaking story on social media, no one has the right to tell you what your story can and cannot be. I was just talking the other day about gaslighting. How many of you have had this experience? Lighten up. It was just a joke. Why are you taking this so personally? That is called gaslighting, and that is called someone doesn't want to take ownership for making you feel bad. I have learned this through social media. You've had experiences in your life that someone could recall that it's a lot different. It can make you feel a lot crazy, is what it can do. Oh, it wasn't that bad. But if it was bad to you, it was. Can we just like take that back? Like take that back, that no one can have that over us. Like Anya, someone could be like, well, there could be blame on the cheating, right? Like, oh, well, nope. You have every right to feel hurt, like sorry, and are like feeling sorry and sad and all those things. We all have the right to that. These are things that I've learned through personal development. But the cool part on this journey is I honestly joined for a better conversation, and that conversation is with all of you. When you surround yourself with people, believe me when I say, are not perfect, don't have it all together, aren't like in the tens of fit in every area of your life, but working towards better, right? It's really hard for me to be like, rate 10 to 10, rate your new, like your mindset 10, whatever it is. Cause I'm like, I can't do a 10. It's hard because I just know there's always more room. I just don't want to be at the arrival. Like I have this like battle, it must be an 8 within me of that. Lost track of what I was about to say, but I know it was going to be good because I'm on fire and I'm just rattling it off. But the thing is personal development gets in our brain and can really create a bigger life for us where we can see, man, I really did care about the judgments of other people. I was fearful of sharing my story because I didn't want to be too much, too annoying, all the things. Well, here's the deal. You're going to be too much for somebody. And I don't want to, and honestly, like I'd rather be too much for the people who want to make me smaller because at least I'm being too much and on my way. Like it's just you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And I'm just willing to just do the double-edged sword and just do the dang thing because someone's going to have a problem with it. It's like, let's think of the political season. Well, I'm unfollowing you here and here. Like, it's just like never good enough where it's like, well, if it's just going to be like that, then I'm just going to go ahead and share my story because I'm open to more income. I got it. I'm back. Here we go. I just want a little segue. I'm back. Is that I am for this, but I was open to losing weight, and I did. I lost 35 pounds from tools that were so teacher friendly for the time and for the budget. We didn't even have BOD back then. We had DVDs, but that is what I needed. I needed 30 minutes because those Wisconsin winters, and hell nah am I trying to go to the gym in the morning and shower and do all the I'm not doing all the things before my teaching day. I'm not doing it. So I had to resort to the end of the day. Well, it's nighttime at noon and it's negative 35 degrees. Nope, I'm not. Like, the thought of driving somewhere in that is just, I can't even open up my car door. So I'm going to work out in my classroom. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to bring my little bag with me to school, and I'm going to work out in my classroom. And that is what I did. And I lost 35 pounds by just pressing play, someone telling me what to, and yelling at me, Shanti, that's just the way I like, just tell me I'm not doing it. I could do better. Like, just tell me this isn't a coffee break. I'm with you, man. This is not a coffee break. This is, we're going to go harder. We're going to do mummy kicks. Well, that's unfortunate, you know? So I did that. But then what was cool is when someone said this, Julie Voris said, if your family doesn't take you seriously, then make money. In your life right now and in your business, if there are people not taking you seriously, get results. Get results in your own fitness and nutrition. Get results with your own mindset, because when you start to get results in your own mindset, no one can say anything, and that it can only be fuel for your fire. Ask Lauren Lundberg. That's us back then. People would say the wildest to us, and we're just like, oh, we're going to prove them wrong. The best revenge is massive success. And that's what we chose because we were working on our mindsets. We saw abundance. We saw the compound effect. Go ahead and come at me. Oh, this is silly. This is a waste of time. This is blah, blah. Well, that's funny. That's funny because I see a bigger future for me, and it doesn't seem like you're the one who pays my bills. So there's that. So we were open to that. But the way you do that is you've got to get results in your life. You have to have a gut check right now. What are you negotiating? I was negotiating nutrition. We can pick it each time. I was negotiating nutrition. And so Eric and I are doing the Shift Shop meal plan 100%. Listen, this is how for real committed I am, people. This is hard for me. I'm about to share it with you. My friend had the audacity to text me today and said, I'm getting your favorite cupcakes for the gender reveal for a friend on Friday. And I said, well, you should never come in my text again because that is my favorite place and I'm eating 100% clean. And she goes, she said something like, that sucks, but I'm proud of you, right? They're so good. I'm committed. Why? Getting results always creates momentum in my life. Getting results always creates a bigger business for me. When I get good at working on me, why? It's more of a mindset than results. People don't join me because I lost 35 pounds, but they join me because I'm going somewhere and I have the fuel. It's not the actual how much you lost in your waist as it is that you feel healthier and happier. It's not so much that you're making $5,000 every few months or a month or whatever, 6 figures in this. It's not for that, but it's that you have more choices and that you don't lock down anymore. I was just sharing a story the other day. You guys should see my pillows. I've been sharing this and it's quite embarrassing. My pillows are this big because I haven't gotten new ones. My neck hurts, my body hurts. Like, what is going on? And so I was like, you are a grown person who has a successful business, Julianne. You guys, it's my survival mentality. At least I have a pillow. That's just, I grew up. At least I have a bed. At least I have something warm on me for real. So that's just like what I'm combating right now in paradigms. My pillow is this big. It is this big. And so I was like, my neck hurts all because it's smushed. I didn't buy it that big. It just smushed down. And so I've had that pillow. I don't even want to, we wash our sheets once a week. Every 2 weeks. I don't know. It's more regularly than never. Okay. I've heard people have not washed their sheets in years. So we're not, okay. It's a few times a month. I'm hoping. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm not trying to remove the cover and show you what that pillow looks like, because it's not good. Anyway, the whole point of this is I have the freedom now to buy nice pillows and not the cheap ones. How many of you go to the store and you're like, well, I'm just going to get the lesser of the value of it because it still works? The sheets, right? I can buy cheap sheets because they're sheets. Yeah, you're in really nice thread count. No, and like you spend half your life sleeping. You want the nicer sheets. I dreamed of things like this because that was not something that I grew up with. And it doesn't have to be a pillow. It doesn't have to be sheets. It could be a new bed. You've not had a new bed, but you've got to connect your results to something bigger, because then you're willing to show up. And that's what I was willing to do for my life. I felt frustrated at the end of every school day, knowing that the people I was working with got paid more because they had a penis and I didn't. That's the truth. My husband was getting paid more than me at the school I was at because he's a dude. And I was frustrated by the amount of work I was putting in. And I was like, how is this going to grow? I had to connect it to something so much bigger of cool. Like it started paying for groceries. Then I could get my hair done. Wow. What? That's crazy. Christmas. Do you know how many people go into debt in Christmas and put it on their credit cards? It doesn't have to be like that. You can write a whole new story with this. And so anyway, Marjorie, I bought 2 new pillows and they're glorious. They haven't come yet. And listen, all in one little purchase, I bought a new down comforter, a new cover for that down comforter, and new sheets that I didn't even feel stressed about getting. I have to learn this stuff because it was never modeled to me. Something that's simple to you, possibly, general you, is not normal for me. Because when you have something, at least you have it. But now I can learn it's really not about the thing though, right? It's the mindset around how you live your life. Personal development has taught me this. It's also taught me abundance. You're never, like, people need health and wellness for life. You are connected to an incredible community. You are connected to incredible tools. And you also are connected to a compensation plan that could seriously change everything. Or if it doesn't change everything, it makes it a whole lot better, because possibly maybe you have really good income. What if your business replaced that and you could go just do whatever you wanted and have more choices? There's just ways of dreaming bigger and blessing other people with this. Anya, I really love, you said the spark starts the match starts the fire. And I remember when I became a diamond coach, I spoke at my first live event. I was so scared. You texted me, I'm nervous, but here she is. Some of you are nervous to commit, nervous to share on social media. So were we. And so have I. I've been that way. I remember I spoke at my first event, live event. I talked so fast because I was so excited. And I remember this guy, I wonder if he's still a coach. I'm not sure. This was in Madison, Wisconsin. And he said, "You're the girl on fire." And I said, "I am. And I'm about to blow this up." But the cool part is that that's available to every single one of us in different ways. And so what I'm choosing to do moving forward today, regardless, wherever you're starting at right now or wherever you are in your life, where do you need to see results? Is it your mindset? Is it your nutrition? Is it your fitness? Listen, if you're postpartum, give yourself a break. If you're pregnant, give yourself a break. Listen, context, right? Like there's different seasons, people. My thing is, where do you need to lean in? Where do you need to get results? was brave enough to share her story because she's done so much personal development that she knew no one had the power for that. That sharing her story isn't too much, or it wouldn't be embarrassing. I think that was one thing I said to you, is like, this is nothing to be embarrassed by. You did not do anything wrong. This is so common and no one talks about it. And if you're brave enough to do it, that gives hope to someone else. And she did, while she was nervous. She spoke tonight while she was nervous. Whatever you're nervous about with the results that you crave, that's part of it. Go with your nerves. I heard somewhere, because anytime I've spoken on stage, I've always felt nervous. I heard if you eat a banana before, it makes you less nervous, but I think that people just tell you that. I forget who it was. It was some personal development, and he said, I like it when I get nervous because it's the most alive feeling. It makes you feel completely alive in that moment. And I'm like, wow. So I always looked at nerves a lot different. I looked at it as I'm completely present. I care about what I'm about to talk about. This matters to me, and it's significant to me because I'm nervous. And I love seeing in the chat right now that Kenny shared her post for the first time, your story for the first time. If I could give you any kind of tip, it would be this: don't stop. Consistency is what wins every single time. Your story connects with someone. And Anya gave it to us. She said this. She said, share where you started. How many of you started overweight, stressed out, overwhelmed, in a rush? How many of you started never working out? How many of you started in a hard season? How many of you didn't think that you had weight to lose, but you realized all along it was the weight between your ears? That you had so much of it weighing you down that you had no idea. How many of you started when you thought community was silly, that it's hard to make friends as an adult, that this can't be that good? How many of you had every intention of returning your Shakeology to get your money back? How many of you gave yourself how many did not expect what has happened? That's a story. And then share where you're going. Where are you going? For me, I envision this a lot. First of all, I can picture the people. It's you, and we're here together. You do become the 5 people you surround yourself with. So when you surround yourself around 5 other people who are going somewhere, you'll be the 6th. When you surround yourself with people, 5 people that make fitness a lifestyle, you'll be the 6th. When you surround yourself around people who don't think personal development is dumb and that they've had insane breakthroughs and transformations and they were able to break barriers and chains that were holding them down, you'll become the 6th, and you'll live a lot more free than the toxic lies you've been believing about yourself, that you're not enough. Shatter that. Your story is remarkable. I cannot even picture a God that would say that your story is not magical and amazing and intentional. You matter so much. And what I love so much about this business is that it's self-care. And then you get to give that gift to someone else. It's powerful. Friends, what I would encourage you to do is, 1, what is something you felt during this call, and share it with someone in your home. Or share it with someone in a text. The more, Anya said, the more you share it, the more you focus on it, the more it becomes a reality. People will start to believe you when you get results. And I think you can get the results the fastest is with this community. So how did this community make you feel tonight? What do you love about it? What stories did you hear? Could you, besides my really lame jokes, I would not pass that along. But share in your family somewhere, because that's what I started doing with this business, is that I treated it like $1 million investment as soon as I got started, and I didn't even understand the compensation plan. I didn't know anything. You don't have to know the compensation plan. I'll know that for you. But I didn't know anything. I did not know what SC was. I didn't know what Emerald meant. I didn't know why my name was on a board. I didn't know, listen, I don't even know how to work technology really. It was never really about knowing it, but I still treated it like it was going to be something huge because I knew I was good at caring about people, is what I said. But what I did is I started Eric about the Zooms I was on and what people were saying and what we were talking about and how it made me feel. And then he started seeing me show up regularly because I took myself seriously when no one else saw. I hated fitness. And then he saw me doing it. He started to believe in this more because I took myself seriously and I started to get results. Crew, you are amazing.